give you a choice, and you could say a little bit of both. But someone who has experience, someone who knows how government works and is experienced in that way, or someone who can bring change, like someone who come to Washington and change the system, or are you looking for a mixture of those two things?
I definitely think there needs to be a mixture. I think you have to have both to run this country. Again, I think you need somebody that has leadership and governance qualities, but they also have to be able to work with people and be diplomatic and be able to cross the aisle and deal with both Republicans and Democrats, as opposed to being so divisive. And I think that comes again with leadership and the ability to govern and to run business.
I think most politicians, when they're elected, their first thing they want to do is they're trying to get reelected. Right. That's their number one goal, and that shouldn't be their number one goal. But I think because of all the term limits, I don't think our country was set up. It was used to set up for just a lay politician. Now it's set up. Everybody's a professional politician. There's guys coming in with no money, and after 3 years, they're leaving as millionaires. So.
For me, I want to see somebody who is charismatic, who can instill hope and get people behind him. That's what matters to me.
Bill, is it important to you to have someone who's held elective office before?
Not really. They need to have a record. This guy we have now never really did anything but be a neighborhood organizer. We need somebody that was successful at something.
Okay, that's fair enough. Christina, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. You got to have something, entrepreneur or something. I'll throw a name out. Donald Trump he is so successful in business. That's a core that he does really well. I'm not saying he's the next president, but he's a candidate for a reason. He is a core. He's great at money, making money. Can he turn America's economy around? Sure. That's something better than Obama has done.
If you put aside Mr. Trump, most of the Republicans who are running on the we're not sure he's running yet or not, but if you put Mr. Trump aside, you've got basically a bunch of Republicans who are they've either been a governor or are a governor, or they've been a senator or are a senator, right? So when you think about those qualifications, is there one of those that you think is more attractive or less attractive? The idea of the executive experience in the governorship, or the legislative experience in the Senate, or could it be from either one? What do you think about that, Michelle?
Either one, just as long as I think they still need to understand how government works and know at least a little bit of the ins and outs of it to be able to run the government. If you don't completely understand how the government works, how are you supposed to be its commander-in-chief?
I think a governor is better than a senator. A senator's a legislator. Right. A governor has to run the state that he governs, and I think a governor would make a better president than a legislator.
Does anybody else agree with Randy?
And he's an outsider as well, or she's an outsider as well, which gives you, no preconceived notions when they come to town.
Do a quick show of hands. How many people in the room is it important that the Republican nominee be a conservative? How important is that to everybody? Okay, only about half. And for the others of you for whom it's conservative isn't that important, do you want a nominee who's a moderate, or could they be either moderate or conservative? Is moderate what you're looking for?
I would like somebody moderate and not too terrifically conservative.
Yeah, I think there's different levels of conservatism. I mean, you've got the far right, which if you elect someone like that, good luck. You're going to have gridlock, and same thing, just an elephant instead of a donkey.
How important is it to you that the candidate that you would get behind sort of represents the future for the Republican Party?
Well, that's the reason we go through this whole process. Otherwise, we could just sit back and complain about it and do nothing. But again, I'm seeing a senior, but I'd like to see this world and this country left in good hands for my family. And yes, it's very important.
Craig, you just said it was important to you after talking a little while ago about Ronald Reagan, who was
I think
obviously
we need
very
somebody who can
successful
cross
president.
over, and she made a point about getting all the Republicans, something could support everyone instead of just a faction where people get upset. Well, I'm not going to vote for him. We need somebody who can kind of cross over and bring everyone in.
Right.
Well, and I think you have to have a visionary. You have to have somebody that can see into the future and keep us progressing and moving forward. If you don't, we'll just stay stagnant, and I don't think anybody wants that.